Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Community Focus Channel 6 TV. I'm Kenny Fogle, your host. Glad you could be with us tonight, and going to talk a little bit about, and there's an old saying, and I've got Johnny Warren here with us, the artistic director of the Stephen Foster Drama Association. So first of all, Johnny, appreciate you being here.
Happy to be here, thank you.
And there's an old saying that goes on, and I've heard it over, and you've heard it too, the show must go on. Usually when somebody says that, there's something going on that you've got to say that.
That's right. Something bad has happened.
And it seems like it's pretty common in the entertainment business.
It is.
It's something that you don't expect to happen, especially when you're dealing with live acting and live musicals. Something happens you don't expect.
That's right.
And you run into that.
That's true. And that's true of the business. And that's why they say the show must go on. Somebody has bought a ticket for that show, and they're going to show up whether you're ready or not. And so that's what we're facing now, now that we're in the midst of the reconstruction of the amphitheater.
Well, we're talking about reconstruction. We're talking about reconstruction. We're talking about leveling all the way at the bottom, building all the way back up from scratch. So it's something altogether new, and then again altogether old.
It is, and that's true. And I've been telling people it's going to be exactly the same, but totally different. and the reality of it is that's the case. It's true. Now the seating area and the office area hasn't been touched.
Yeah.
What we're talking about is the stage itself and the buildings on either side of the stage that the sets come out of and that the actors walk out of. That's the area that was completely demolished and taken away, and the only thing left was dirt and rock. And so that was a shocking visual to see that after 60 years of having something there.
Yeah.
The amphitheater was built on top and built on and built on over the years, but for 60 years there's always been something there. Mm-hmm. And so to walk out there and see nothing but dirt was challenging, but now we see the new concrete stage, and there are a few walls constructed out of wood that are completed, and now the metal buildings are going up. And when I say exactly the same but entirely different, the shape of the building is the same, the size of the stage is the same, it's the same outline, it's going to look the same, but it's built out of totally different materials this time that will last forever.
Well, I know I've been down behind the stage several times, and it's scary. It was scary.
It was. And to our credit, I guess, we were able to keep that from the audience for so many years in terms of what the audience saw when they bought a ticket and came to see the show. Looked decent. You could tell there was wear and tear on some of the buildings and some of the areas that the audience saw, but for the most part, the audience never got to see where the real problems were, and that was behind the scenes, where the wooden structure had just become deteriorated so desperately over so many years of being subjected to the elements. And so one of the key changes now that will make it a situation that will last so much longer is that the buildings will be able to be fully enclosed, and in the off-season completely protected from the elements. And anything we want to put in there will be completely protected from the elements. And that hasn't been true for really any of my time there. I've been there for 20 years. And for that entire time, we've dealt with the issues of having holes in the roof and concrete that's torn up, and issues that we've just had to deal with and spend money on to make repairs that were just absolutely necessary. And so to be able to work in this space now where we won't have to deal with those issues is going to be a whole new world.
Well, long story short, before we get into some of these repairs, long story short, the state has owned this for several years, and they finally decided just to abandon the project because they just didn't want to put any more money into it, didn't want to do the repairs, didn't want to do what it took necessary to make it run.
Yeah.
Nelson County Fiscal Court basically stepped in, done a lot of fundraising and other things, and now you're back. It's still owned by the state, but it's operated, you're under what, a 5-10-year lease, I believe it is.
It's a 5-year lease with a promise of 2 more cycles to renew. So right now with this current lease, we're looking at 15 years. But yes, that long story short is exactly right. And so the state did agree to lease the property to the county. And so that's where we are. And there's been a great effort to raise the funds necessary to make these improvements by so many people. And so we're just absolutely fortunate to be in a position where so many people in our community and surrounding our community believe that what we do there at the theater and having that amphitheater in our community is worth.
Well, what you just said, the amphitheater in the community, I know Stephen Foster is near and dear to your heart, because obviously that's been, it's been here for 60 years or so. But it's more than that. You've got a lot more going on there than just the Stephen Foster story.
Yeah, and for so many reasons, the Stephen Foster story was created in a time when people didn't want to sit in their houses in the evening because they didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
And so people wanted to get outside and do things. And so for the family to pack up the station wagon and drive across the state or across the country to see something like an outdoor production in the evening was a really fashionable thing to do.
Yeah.
Times change. And now we're facing a society where we're absolutely spoiled to air conditioning, and to ask somebody to get outside when the weather has been anywhere near 90 degrees during the day is sometimes a challenge. And so, yeah, in an effort to compete with the changing times, the Drama Association did create other opportunities that have been very successful for the company. We have our live music concert series, and we have our second Broadway musical, and those options change every year. And so we've really turned into an entertainment venue where Stephen Foster's story is and will be the focus and the feature. And the Stephen Foster story is the thing that brings, it attracts tourists from outside the area, where our concert series and our Broadway musical is more attractive to local and regional audience. So it's really important for us to have both, because we're able to fill two different markets. But yeah, that's
We'll talk about the repairs down there, and I know from firsthand doing some work with you before, the electrical down there was absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I guess that's all being changed as well. And I know you even talked about getting a new sound system.
That's right. So there were two primary concerns in terms of safety and code requirements. That was in the electrical, because those buildings do have electricity running through them that power our lights backstage and some of the scenic elements and all of our onstage lighting, but also the structure itself. And so, solving the electrical problem was a big part of it, and anything that was of concern has been completely demolished. In fact, we came back to where everything was okay, cut it off there, and everything that needed to be replaced is going in brand new. So, which is both a requirement of the state and what everybody knew had to happen in order to create the kind of venue that the legacy of the Stephen Foster Drama Association deserves. And then, yes, part of this renovation, we have a brand new venue, brand new opportunity, and nothing we do on stage is of much value if the audience can't hear it. And one of our greatest struggles always has been our sound system, which it is challenging in such a big venue to put mics on so many people and to make sure our audio system competes with the crickets and the tree frogs and everything else you experience. And so, part of this renovation is going to be the installation of a new sound system, which is going to be of as much value, particularly to our audience, as the structural reconstruction is. In fact, we just launched a new fundraising opportunity through our Facebook page that is specific to our sound system. And so, while nearly all of the money for this project has been raised, we're not quite to the point.
So people can still donate if they want to. So if somebody out there wants to help out a little bit, they can go to your Facebook page. First of all,
you can check out Stephen Foster Story at Facebook, or visit StephenFoster.com, our website, or give us a call or stop by the box office.
Now, I know you, but at one time, you probably still do, belong to an association for outdoor musicals. Now, outdoor musicals, are there still very many around, or are we getting pretty unique here in Bardstown?
You know, surprising, there are still hundreds across the country. And the Institute of Outdoor Theater, which is the national conference for people who do what I do, about 2 years ago expanded to include international theaters, because internationally the concept of outdoor theater is also very popular. And so it still is a thriving industry. And what I have found is in any business, we're constantly trying to compete and stay relevant and be unique. And when there are so many entertainment opportunities literally at your fingertips,
Right.
you can watch your movies and your TV shows in your hand, on your phone. What is happening is something like physically going to a place and seeing actors living and breathing and performing right in front of you is becoming a unique experience for the new generation.
I've never been to Broadway and probably never will go, but I can go here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's one of the benefits we have in this community with Stephen Foster Drama Association and the Amphitheater is for those that don't or can't see a show on Broadway, you can see the next best thing right here in your backyard for our locals. And we do have performers, our cast for both of our stage musicals, the Stephen Foster Story and whatever the second show is each year, is made up of half of a cast that is local regional. Many of them are teachers and college professors in music or drama or some similar field in Kentucky. And the other half is made up from young performers from all over the country who are in some of the top university programs for music theater and acting and singing, who are building their resume.
Yeah, I know you've gotten some went on to some pretty big things.
And after us, that resume leads many to Broadway and to television. And so we constantly have alumni who are making waves in all across the country and internationally in entertainment. So and that's one of the unique things about being right here in Bardstown, is to have that opportunity and to have our youth in the community be able to grow up with that opportunity to see these performers, to know there is such a thing as the performing arts as a career is a great opportunity, and one of the reasons why so many people have felt the desire to support.
Well, at one time, Stephen Foster Story was the premier attraction for Bardstown. We were identified by Bardstown.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's changed a little bit over the years, growth and just different things. But a lot of people still feel that identification with the Stephen Foster Story and Bardstown, Kentucky.
It's true. And when this happened just over a year ago, when the decision was made by the state to close the amphitheater, the outcry that we saw really proved that even though the Stephen Foster Story has been around for 60 years, even though there are other things in our community now, other things in our state, other things in our lives that are newer, flashy, inspiring new kinds of tourism, we still very much have the hearts and the spirits of our community and people across our state and across our country who believe in what we do and want us to continue to do it.
Well, in addition to rebuilding an entire theater and get recasting for the Stephen Foster for the next year, you've got a second story you're getting ready to work on. You haven't announced yet, and probably several live at the concerts. The people, your artists, you're working on. So it's not real. You didn't get much of a vacation.
There's really no off season. We have what we consider an off season because we don't have tickets on sale.
Right.
But during that time period, there are three of us trying to produce the entire season worth of entertainment. And yes, right now the process is finalizing the Live at the Park concert series that will be announced mid-March, and signing the contract, which I did today, on the second show, which we're going to announce on Monday.
Okay.
So you can check out our Facebook page on Monday for the announcement of our Salt River Electric second show.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, like I said, things are rolling, and the show is going on. That is
The show is going on.
That is the as we started out saying, shows goes on. But so tickets go on sale probably relatively soon, don't
Yeah,
they?
January 15th is when you can purchase tickets to the Stephen Foster Story and our second show. Concert tickets won't go on sale until the day of the announcement in March. But yes, the show is going on, and in a world where historic places, historic opportunities close left and right, this is a story that has ended in such a more positive way for us. Our community could have just looked the other way and allowed this opportunity to disappear from Bardstown. And the fact that that our community stepped up in such a big way, both our community leadership, all the way down to individuals of all ages across our community and the region and beyond, we've been allowed to save this treasure.
Well, not only community, but at some point, you could have walked away. You could have said, hey, you know, I've got a family to feed. I don't have time for this. I'll go find. There's other things you could have done. And the fact that you stuck with this, and I'm sure you've had a few sleepless nights over it.
It's been a challenge. And absolutely, the day we were told to pack up and get out, my wife and I had to face some reality. And what is going to happen here? I'm fortunate that my wife has been involved with this company as I have. She has actually started performing before I came to the Stephen Foster Story. We met there. We were engaged on the stage. I proposed to her there on the stage. And we've been fortunate enough to have our son perform on the stage too. So we're tied to the company and to the amphitheater, and so it has become a great honor and a privilege to be involved with the company in the way that I am at this time of such great importance, and being able to feel the support and work both with the designers and architects and the fundraising to make sure that we get to continue this.
So tickets going on sale. Get there and make some announcements. Beautiful Dreamer Ball coming up in February, I believe.
Biggest February.
And
biggest fundraiser. Is February 9th. That's coming up, and tickets are on sale.
So you feel a little bit better right now than you did this time last year.
Completely different. Completely different. Big smile on my face this year. A lot of exciting things happening.
Yeah, well, like I said, I stopped down there earlier and had a look, and it is a shock to the system when you look at where you are right now, but there's a ways to go. Stephen Foster opens in June
8th.
June 8th is when, so that's when the public will be able to walk in. Or they can probably go down right now to some, I guess, go down and look over the.
Yeah, you can stop by at the top of the amphitheater. You can't go down into the steps, seating area, but you can stop by and have a look. And definitely leading up to summertime, I know people are going to be interested in seeing what it's turning into. And we consistently post pictures and video on our Facebook page. So you can follow the construction that way too.
And follow right here on Channel 6, something old, something new.
That's
so, Johnny, I appreciate it. Like I said, first of all, I do want to appreciate you sticking with it like you did, because you walking away, I think would have killed the project. I don't know if I want to get that dramatic or not, but I think if you're having faith in it, staying and holding the course, donors felt a little more comfortable giving when they knew they had a steady
I appreciate you saying that.
I think that made a difference.
I am one of many who are working hard to make this happen. But I appreciate that very much.
Well, Johnny, appreciate you coming here today and updating us. And again, the Stephen Foster Drama Association, Stephen Foster Story, the second show, which they're going to announce very quickly, and Live in the Park concert series. It's going to be a busy year. New everything, but you won't know the difference if they've got their way to say about it. All right, Johnny Warren here with the Stephen Foster Story. Appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully you can help out. If you want to help out donations, check out their Facebook page, their website, give them a call, or if nothing else, just buy some season tickets when it comes on sale later on, I think March or so. So they'll be more than happy to sell you a few tickets and fill that place up. If you're going to build a new place, you might as well fill it up.
That's right.
Johnny, appreciate you being here. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back with more Channel 6 TV right here, right after this.